A little while ago, I wrote a comprehensive blog post on overseas basketball scams. Now, in just 2 months, it's already shot to the top of the Google rankings, with players, coaches, and agents throughout the world reaching out to me and giving their positive feedback and their appreciation for that post. Well, today I want to go through that post in video format and touch upon a few things that I've thought of since then to add to keep money in your pocket, get your career started on the right track, and most of all, stay away from the scammers. So let's begin.
La pelota al aro. ¡Da! Señoras y señores, increíble.
Now, in order to easily identify overseas basketball scams, you have to accept two simple truths. Number one, teams, managers, and agents are extremely busy in overseas basketball, and their emails and their inboxes are constantly getting flooded by players, by messages, by emails, by everything you can imagine. And because of that, number two, they will always reach out to the people who they are most familiar with in order to get players and contacts. Now, this means that you as a player will be doing the reaching out. You will be reaching out to them if you do not have the contacts or the significant people who can make that connection for you. And this is the premise of overseas basketball scams, is that whenever someone is reaching out to you, a team, an agent, a manager, right away that should kind of put you on your toes. That's something that a lot of players don't want to hear because they think that, oh, if I had a good career, I obviously have confidence in myself that I'm a good enough player, that someone will reach out to me. Now, that's often not the case for the vast majority of you, 85 to 90% around there. You will be doing the reaching out. You will be doing the chasing for these teams because there is no shortage of players in overseas basketball. Now, if you can accept this, then you can accept that it's a little fishy if teams or agents are reaching out to you with opportunities off the bat and you're from a lower profile university, you don't have much experience, things like that. Now, there are some exceptions. If you are a high major, for instance, or a mid-major player, then it's much more likely that a team or an agent or a manager will reach out to you because they actively recruit those players because they believe they can get significant money in overseas basketball right off the bat. And as well, if you're a major award winner, if you're an NCAA Division II Player of the Year, Conference Player of the Year, D3 Player of the Year, NAI Conference Player of the Year, something like that. If you have something like that, then it's much more likely that an agent or a team or a manager will reach out to you. But for everyone else, you're going to be in the same boat as me and thousands of other players around the world that you are doing the chasing right off the bat. Now, in the blog post, I actually detailed this. I have recently had a coach from Montenegro reach out to me saying that he was looking for players and he was interested in me. Now, for me, this immediately put me on my toes because I was playing in Latin America at the time. I'd only played in Latin America for the past 5 years. So how is it possible that coach from Montenegro would have known of me? So this was the first red flag that I saw. I put my pride aside and I said, as bad as I would love to play Montenegro, I thought, man, this ain't right. Now, let's say someone reaches out to you like they did with me. I say that the first thing you have to do is what I call a reality check. You have to look and see, is this actually a real person? Is this actually a real coach, a real team? Do they have a real roster posted anywhere? And you can do that through multiple ways. You can do that through looking at their team roster, the coaches, the coaching staff, doing a simple Google search. One of the best places to start is Eurobasket. They have a comprehensive database on all of the teams, all of the players throughout the world who are playing in overseas basketball. If they don't exist there, then chances are it might be getting a little fishy. But when I searched this team in Montenegro who was trying to scam me, I saw that they did exist on Eurobasket. They were called KK Redensal. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I saw that they did exist, but that doesn't mean that they're real. That's what you have to understand. Just because they exist doesn't mean that they're real. And this is how scammers will get you, obviously. They're literally an imposter posing as someone else through their account, through their profile, through their name, through whatever. The scammer was posing as the coach of that team. You can't just say that, okay, they're on Eurobasket. Oh, they exist. This is real. I'm gonna follow this guy now and go to this country. First of all, just have to check to see, do they exist? Okay, they exist, but that might not be necessarily that they're real. So if they pass this reality check portion of the scamming process, then you have to ask them questions like, how did you find out about me? How do you know me? How do I fit into your team's plans? Things like this, where you can tell that he's coming up with some BS If he doesn't specifically relate to your career, if he doesn't say things like, oh, I saw you play in this conference against this team, and I liked how you played against this big time school and you did well, or I saw you play at this tournament, or this guy gave me a reference to you, someone who you know, something like that. You have to follow up and actually do a kind of vet-in or a filtering process of this guy and see, okay, how deep is he going? If he knows a decent amount about you, then chances are, okay, some of that doubt, if he's a scammer or not, is starting to disappear. But if he's just giving you generic answers like, oh, I searched basketball players and found your name, that's your second red flag right there. Something's not right. Now, after you've done the reality check, what you have to do next is get what I call insider information on this scammer, on the club, on everything. And the way that you do that is actually reaching out to real people who are connected into that region, who have a say in that region, who have their finger on the pulse of that region. Now, this will be difficult for you if you're new to the game, if you have not spent any time on developing your networks in overseas basketball. That's why every day you should spend some time just reaching out to people, connecting with people, following them on social media, seeing what the overseas basketball game is about. If you want to get in this game, then you better know how it works and how it ticks every day. And how do you do that? One of the best ways is you just literally follow and see what the players within the game are doing so that you understand what's going on. So for me personally, when I had this team from Montenegro reach out to me, I connected with an agent from Montenegro. Just by the grace of God, he was from Montenegro. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, do you know about this club? What is this about? And then he said, yeah, this is 100% a scam. This guy's been doing it for a few years, getting some suckers from the States who've been sending him money. And he just runs off with it and that's it. And then I reached out to another person just to double check. I didn't want to just rely on one person's word, but I reached out to another person who's very, very well connected to the European market. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, this is the situation. This seems fishy to me because he's reaching out to me and he's giving me generic answers and I don't even play in Europe to begin with. And he said, yep, 100% true. That's a scam as well. By verifying through people who are actually connected to the region, then you can actually get a more concrete answer if you know if it's a scam or not. Trust me, players and coaches, credible players and coaches and agents will be your best ally because they hate these guys too. They hate these scumbags who are always trying to scam people out of money. Now, say you've done the reality check process and you've done the insider information process. If you are even a little bit iffy and they ask for an upfront fee after that, don't pay for it ever. It's a scam, 100%. And let me explain why. You are the commodity in this position. You are the thing that they are seeking. They are seeking a player, right? How does it make any sense? In what other job would you be asked to pay for a fee up front in order to even begin earning money in that job? Say you're a reporter. They said, okay, Jose, we'd love to hire you, but up front, you're going to have to pay for your desk and you're going to have to pay for a microphone and the camera for when you're reporting. So that'll be $1,000 in total. How does that make any sense? You are the commodity in this situation. So if they're asking for an upfront fee in overseas basketball, it's a scam. And they're going to code it in some language. They're going to code it in team medical insurance. They're going to code it in visa processing fee. Then they're going to come up with some sort of way to say, oh, this is necessary and you need to pay for it or we won't have you on the team. Now, this is an important distinction. There may be teams that say that, okay, you have to pay for your flights. We'll pay you everything. We'll pay you your accommodations, your food, a salary, but we can't pay for your flight. So you have to pay for your flight. Or they may say that you need to actually get your own visa in order to come into the country and play. But these are things that aren't actually benefiting the team or the person who you're communicating with directly. Because if you go get your visa, who's that benefiting? No one. You're just going to the embassy and you're paying your fee to the embassy. So the embassy would benefit from it. If they say you have to pay your flight, then that's you paying money. The airline would benefit from that because you're paying the money to the airline. You're not paying it to him. So you have to ask yourself, who will benefit from the money that is being paid at this process? If you're saying that the team or the person who's reaching out to you, the agent, the coach, the manager, they will benefit from it through a visa fee that you have to pay to the team, through medical insurance that you have to pay to the team, through whatever that you have to pay to the team, then it's a scam because they serve to benefit from it financially. They are the ones who are benefiting from it if you pay that. But if you pay for a flight or if you pay for your visa, different institutions that don't benefit, they're not related to the team. Now, up to this point, we've been talking about overseas basketball scams from mainly a team to player perspective. But there are many other ways players can get scammed and have been scammed in this game through exposure camps, combines, pro tours, fake agents, all types of ways. But whereas from a team to player is more so black and white, in these other things, in the combines and exposure tours, an upfront fee doesn't necessarily mean that it's a red flag or a scam. So for instance, a lot of these exposure camps, they will have maybe coaches in attendance, maybe accommodations like water, food, snacks, whatever for people there. They may have a film crew there. They have to rent out the gym. They have to get referees for the scrimmages. All of these things obviously cost money, so they'll have to charge a fee for the exposure camps. That just makes sense. Just because there's a fee attached to it doesn't mean it's a scam. That's obviously business. When you think of these exposure camps, these combines, I would encourage you not to look at it from a black and white perspective, from scam or legit, but look at it on a spectrum. Look at it from the perspective of, okay, what are the reviews on this combine? How many coaches usually have attended it? Where are they from? All these questions. This is another video entirely. But for now, just know that if you see an exposure camp or a combine with a fee, an upfront fee attached, it's not necessarily a scam, but you do have to do your research. I'll be making a video on this later, but for now, just know it doesn't necessarily mean it's a scam. So there you guys have it, a quick rundown on overseas basketball scams. Make sure you do your due diligence whenever someone reaches out to you and put them through the filtering process. Make sure you get some insider information on them and do the reality check as well. And of course, the upfront fee. And ask yourself who serves to benefit from the upfront fee, okay? If you do that, then I guarantee you will be in better position than before. And hopefully this will help you on your basketball journey, wherever that is. Of course, there's a bunch of other topics that I want to cover that we couldn't get into today, like exposure camps, basketball combines. If you guys want to learn about that and see legit from the not so great ones there, then I would recommend you comment, like, and subscribe, because I'm going to be covering all of this and all of the things that I've learned in my 5+ years of playing professional so far. Anyway, thanks so much for your time, guys. Take care. God bless. Peace.